Hi, my name is Tina. I'm a business consultant, coach, and speaker. I help my clients set goals and reach them. I use a lot of things, especially technology, online, and social media, but I also use a lot of techniques to show my clients how to set goals, create smaller tasks that fit into that bigger goal, and make sure that they're doing these things in the most efficient manner. If you are looking to grow your business, I have 5 success principles that you can use in your life as well as in your business. And if you start them today, you can mark this day 6 months later, and I can tell you your life and your business will look different. So listen to these, and whichever ones apply for you, please apply them because they are most important and will help you get where you want to go. The first success principle I want to talk about is understanding that you should concentrate on your side of the fence. You know, we spend way too much time worrying about what our competition is doing. We spend way too much time worrying about what other people are doing. And I want to tell you that that alone is making you very unproductive. You know, what you should concentrate on is things more like, is my customer service the way it should be? Am I delivering the best product or service that I possibly can? Learning more about what you're doing and making sure that you're the best at it, development of yourself personally. If you take the time to do that, when I talk to this with my clients, one of the stories I use is I talk about the movie Grumpy Old Men. You remember that movie? It had Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau in it, and they were neighbors, and they were just trying to wreak havoc in each other's lives, and anything that they could possibly do to cause each other turmoil, they would do it. But what they found out as the movie began progressing is that things were happening in their family life, and things began to fall apart. Is because they were not cultivating those relationships. They were so worried about what each other was doing that they wasn't worried about what was going on in their own homes and in their own families. And I don't want that for you. A lot of times we think it's okay because someone, maybe it's the Do Me Wrong song or someone did something to you, accept it, grow from it, and move on. And learn that you must concentrate on what you are doing. So that is definitely the first success principle that I want to share with you. The next thing that kind of goes right into that is learning to master your time. I want you to just learn to do one simple thing. When you begin your day, you should start your day with the 5 most important things for you to get done that day to achieve your goals, whether it's a goal for business, whether it's a goal in your personal life, or any kind of personal development for yourself. Just make sure you're setting 5 tasks that you will get done that are in relationship to those goals that you're trying to meet. And I also want you to take the time and think, when you're doing something, think about it. Is this something that's going to help me get to my goal? Okay, most people don't do that. When you spend 4 to 5 hours a day watching TV, ask yourself that question. Is watching TV helping me get to my goal? What is it helping me do? Is it helping you relax? Is that something you use to unwind? Know and make the conscious decision to do what is helping you reach your goals, whatever that may be. So that would be success principle number 2. Number 3 is, you got to accept change and prepare for it. One of the things I can tell you, best example I can give you is that I have a client who 80% of her business, one of her funding sources was going away. And instead of dwelling on it, which in the beginning was about where she was, and instead of dwelling on it, we began to look for other funding sources. And yes, it was going to be different. And yes, it was a change. But her business is still holding on. So even though that 80% of her business dried up, she did not lose that much in her business. As a matter of fact, it stayed flat. And while we're all looking for some kind of growth, when you are facing losing 80% of your business and you didn't lose any, and you ended up finishing at exactly the same spot you finished the year before, that is phenomenal. But the only way that we were able to do that is because she accepted the change that was happening. And that is one of the things that are holding most people back, is that they cannot accept change. Yes, things will be different. We can all see that right now. There's a lot of people out there that do not have a job. But you know what? We have to let go some of what we believe is the way things should be, learn to accept the way things are, and decide how you can grow and move on from that. So, second to the last success principle is, if you have a situation, problem, challenge that you keep running into, you haven't learned the lesson from it. And what I mean by that is that if you keep having the same reoccurring issue every day, I'll give you a great example. I am in home health as well. I still have business interest in home health, and one of the things that I noticed when I was running the day-to-day of the home health is I had a few specific employees who their families loved them. The clients that they were taking care of absolutely loved them, but they were constantly calling out. And what was happening is that, the family couldn't begin to rely on them, and I didn't feel like I could rely on them either. But instead of just overreacting and either terminating those employees, I really had to look deep and try to figure out what it was that was going on. And what I was finding was that these employees was working way too hard. They worked for not just me, for another company, and was overexhausted, had children, wasn't able to properly schedule their time. So I brought them in and I made sure that they took a weekday off from both positions a week. And that became one of the terms for working for me, was that they needed to be able to have a day that they knew they could do whatever they needed to do for their children, whether it's set specific doctor's appointments or whatever it needed to be, and also to get some rest away from both of their jobs or whatever else it was that they had going on. But if I didn't take the time to dig into that, I would have never understood what the problem was, would not have been able to develop a solution, as well as, now keep some great employees who would have otherwise not been working for me, or would have missed out on my clients because, they didn't have the caregivers that they love. So I just want to tell you that don't accept problems as just course of your day. If you find that you are running into the same thing over and over and over again, dig deeper, find a solution, and develop something. It may not come overnight, but it's worth exploring, because you don't want to have the same thing occur over and over and over again. And the last success principle that I want you to begin applying is that you need to get uncomfortable often. If you stay in your comfort zone, that means you're going to do the same things that you've always done. And I want to tell you that you're not going to reach your goals staying comfortable. You need to do something outside of what it is. And the fear and the voice that keeps telling you why you shouldn't do something is just that. It's just a voice, and it's keeping you from reaching your goals and where you want to be. Sometimes you have to do something a little different. And if you don't become uncomfortable, you will stay comfortably where you are right now. So those are my 5 success principles. I hope you enjoyed them. You can find out more about me and see the different products and services that I offer on TinaBrinkleyPotts.com.